Sounds like one of my strings is a little flat. Um, or sharp. There we go. Hi, how's it going, folks? Today I'm gonna talk about, um, well, trans stuff. And I was a little hesitant to do that today because every time I talk about this sort of thing, I lose a ton of subscribers and get a bunch of hate comments. So, yeah, but we're gonna do it anyway because that's never stopped me from talking about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Yeah. Yeah, I just went to the Goodwill and I scored this sick ass hoodie. Um, I'm happy with it. It's pretty cool. Check this out. Here, I'll show you. It's pretty nice, huh? Hell yeah. I think it looks great. Yeah. And I'm glad you like the zit stickers. It's that's one of the things about hormone replacement therapy, which is what people are talking about when they say HRT. That'll do to you because if you've gone through puberty as a kid, there was a point probably where your skin was just messed up. And it made me self-conscious when I was a kid. It makes me self-conscious now as an adult. But that's sort of the thing about it is when you're on HRT, you kind of go through like a second puberty, and so yeah, I found some black ones though, so I'm pretty happy about that because I like the color black, obviously, and I found a couple other cool things at the Goodwill today too. That make me feel nice, especially since the weather's getting colder and I don't have to carry every single thing I have in my backpack anymore, so I can have a few extra items, just because they look nice, not because it's essential to my day-to-day well-being. Like, yeah, sometimes it's nice to have stuff that you um, don't absolutely need. And like, look at this. It's like you ain't gonna find shit like this at Walmart or wherever. It was like $6. It's awesome. Anyway, yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. I'm so glad you could join me. Um, Track Cat thinks I'm hot. Nice, thank you. What's up? We got Cold Draft in chat. Lodi, Cat and Grim, Special Ed. What's up? Noah Heezer, Timothy Cavalieri. We got all the folks. So I had a spectacular birthday. It was pretty incredible. Satan, fuck off. I got a lot of nice. All I asked for my birthday, like I always only ever ask for, is if you want to be super sweet to me. I don't want stuff. I want just regular money because then I can continue to work towards what I'm trying to do, especially like, you know, um, well, anyway. So over the course of the day, plus what people donated on Patreon, or not Patreon, on the GoFundMe, um, we easily put together enough so that I could order my computer. So I did that. It's coming in a few days. I'm really excited. I did put a little clip about it on my birthday, but yeah, so that's done. And what else did I get? Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my car in for an alignment on Monday. and I'll be able to afford that, no problem. And I'm gonna have to get some new tires too, which, those can be kind of spendy, but it's all good. So I'm really, really grateful for all that. Thank you guys so much for making my day like so amazing and wonderful and incredible. It was bomb, and yeah, I went and partied a couple days before my birthday, which was the weekend before my homie Tom treated me and the boys to that concert, and we went out riding in a limo, and it was super fun. So if you're on the Patreon, you probably saw that clip. It was great. Don't say the F word. Yeah, I know. I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. It's a challenge, man. Fuck. I literally. Anyway. So yeah, I was just gonna talk about. Actually, in Texas, requested that I talk about um, just what it's been like transitioning. I guess I I don't know how I even feel about like the the word transitioning, like, because it's, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm changing from like one thing to another. I'm just like living my fucking, god damn it, just living my life. um well, now it's screwed. I made it 5 minutes past starting, so I think it won't get demonetized. If it's like after the first 5 minutes, then it's okay. um so yeah, I don't feel like I'm like, because I'm like masculine non-binary, so it's not, there's not like an affixed societal role for people that don't fit into the binary, people that are like a man or a woman. Like, there's nothing for that, so I don't really feel like I'm transitioning into anything, because there never was a place for me in society's like expected gender roles to begin with. So it's not like that's changed at all. And people are just still always gonna be misgendering me. Even people that claim to like me or like think that I'm cool or want to be my friend are still just not gonna get it right or try and be like combative about it, and that sucks. But as far as like actually being on hormones, it's been really nice because I don't know, like I used to, I mean, still do, but I used to struggle a lot with like depression and stuff. And since I have started taking hormones, I haven't had like really acute symptoms. Like, and it's been like 10 months now. So I don't know. I used to feel kind of just nothing most of the time, and the times that I didn't feel nothing, I felt like an intense, um, just like anger and sadness, and just like every day is a fucking nightmare. And I haven't felt that way since I started testosterone, and that was at, well, I guess one of the reasons why I've been more hesitant to talk about this sort of thing is because um, I'm an anarchist. I live outside of society. Like, I don't believe in authoritarianism. I don't think anybody has the right to tell me what to do with my own life and my own body, as long as I'm not hurting anybody else, or like, I guess hurting myself. But that, that's that's always up for argument, whether we're hurting ourselves or not with our decisions. So it's like, whatever, as long as you're not hurting somebody else. I need to crack open this Mineragua. This is my shit right here. This is the good shit. I got myself a 12 pack yesterday with some of that extra birthday money. Cheers. Thanks. Mm. I usually don't get the whole 12 packs because it's like kind of expensive. It's a lot cheaper if you buy the 12 pack though, because then it's $1 a piece instead of $2 a piece. Mm. I like Topo Chico. That's my other favorite, but the Mineragua hits a little harder. It's like a sharper, crisper carbonation. I don't know how they do it or whatever, but it's good. It's yeah, it almost hurts, you know. So anyway, the biggest reason why I haven't been like talking about transitioning and being on HRT as much as some folks do is because like I live outside of society. I don't have a prescription. I guess I do now technically. Um, so if anybody's got a fucking problem with it, I got a prescription out of Pennsylvania now, whatever that might mean. But I got my shit on the black market. Now I'm not telling y'all, and like I said, if you got a problem with it, you know, prove it. Come at me. But I'm not telling anybody that if you want to get on HRT, just take matters into your own hands and get stuff off the black market. But also, at the point that I was at, I was like feeling suicidal pretty much every day. And it's like, there's nowhere else to turn at that point. Um, I was ready to try anything. So I don't have a therapist. I don't have a personal care provider. I don't have a regular doctor. I don't have an endocrinologist. I don't have any sort of advisors. I have gotten like blood work done and stuff when I was in Pittsburgh, and whatever. But I've taken matters into my own hands because I was sick of waiting around for some asshole that lives in a little fucking shiny box, makes ton of money every year or whatever, sitting at a little desk with their little fucking paper and their little fucking pen, to have to tell me that oh well, I've found that you should get this medication or these hormones or whatever. I'm not gonna sit there and wait for some fucking pencil pusher to tell me what I already know and what I need. Never done that for anything else. I don't need it for I don't need somebody to tell me what I need. And so I've when I did go and see the doctors in Pennsylvania, I just told them straight up. I'm like, here's the deal. What can you do? And they were like, oh yeah, we got you. Immediately wrote up a prescription. I guess it didn't get forwarded to the place I was supposed to pick up more testosterone at, because I called them up, and then by that point I was just sick of being around there. I still got plenty left here. I got 2 more vials, so I'm okay for now. I just wanted to get sort of legit in the system in some way. So, there's that. Let's see. Oh, cool. Noah's talking about ice fishing in Mille Lacs. That's awesome, man. Sugar Daddies is still open? No way. That's crazy. Fuck what others think. You have to be happy with yourself. That's right. That's right. Um, so that's why I've been kind of hesitant to talk too much about it. Because um, I don't actually like the only reason I know what I'm doing is because of the internet and asking my friends who have been on HRT and whatever. I don't have any sort of like advisor. Most influencers that are trans like have a lot of resources, and that kind of makes it feel like they have more of an authority on the topic than I do, because I'm just a fucking street urchin that knows how to that knows how to buy drugs, you know. And um, I don't think that those other folks are any more valid than I am, but they are definitely like more informed and safe in what they're doing. And so I guess uh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I just feel like I don't have much authority on the matter. I'm just kind of fucking around finding out, as it were. Hudson's FTM guide for good info on HRT and lots of other good stuff. Hey, it's a good recommendation. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, I'd love any resources that y'all want to hook me up with. So I guess what I have seen in taking HRT is um, one, I haven't felt like hopeless when I wake up in the morning every day and just dead inside. That's gone, which I didn't expect. That's pretty damn amazing. Like, if nothing else, that alone is worth it because it was just a constant battle for a long time to just not succumb to self-destructive desires and just getting through my day without losing my fucking mind. And that contributed a lot to like substance abuse, etc. The other thing that I've noticed is my voice is starting to drop, and that's pretty sweet. I I I was a little sketched out about uh, possibly losing some of my vocal range because I am a vocalist. I sing, and I've always had a pretty crazy range, and I've been noticing lately, like, I just really can't hit some of the higher notes like I used to be able to. And it's it's kind of frustrating a little bit that I can't because, oh, like, I wrote my songs with my old range, so I'll go to hit a note while I'm singing and my voice just cracks, and that's not fun, but I kind of just have been going with it. Yeah, I don't know. That's not amazing. Another thing that I've noticed is that I'm starting to get a little bit of like fat distribution changes where like I mean, definitely backpacking for the last 5 months has done a lot for my figure or whatever. Like, I've lost like 20 pounds over the summer, which is pretty awesome. And I've noticed that like a lot of the the thickness that I had in like my lower body, like my ass and my legs, has kind of gone down a bit. I still got a lot of cake back there, but it's definitely been redistributing, which I like because that kind of always gave me like body dysmorphia and like gender dysphoria. Like, I don't know, people get crude towards who they perceive as women, especially when they got the thickness, you know. And I really don't. I just don't like that. I think it makes me feel gross, I guess. I mean, nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with being uh, a thicker person, but it's the way that other people treated me that I didn't like. You know. Um, just makes me feel weird. At this point, especially with the weight loss, like my my profile has been looking a lot more masculine, and it's a lot easier to find clothes that fit me and that are comfortable. like I've been able to buy my last few pairs of pants and shorts without even trying them out on first, and um, that's crazy because all growing up into adulthood, my my body just didn't really fit into women's or men's clothes. Women's clothes would make me feel just wildly uncomfortable, like they would fit, but they're meant to be flattering in places that are, typically associated with women's figures. So that would just make me want to die, basically. Just, put on an appropriately sized pair of women's pants, and I would literally just wish I was dead. Like, it's so bad. And then men's pants, are mostly made for no ass, skinny leg motherfuckers. And so I would find a pair of men's pants that would like fit, but not like I would have to size it up uh, a little bit. And then of course the waist is going to be really loose, and the legs and the ass are still going to be like really tight. So that sucked. Just like trying to find a decent pair of pants that I could work in and move around in was a goddamn nightmare. I have like broke down crying in fitting rooms because of that shit. But no more crying in the fitting rooms at fucking uh, Tractor Supply store or whatever. That's where I shop for pants now. Usually workwear stores. Um, but yeah, when I was growing up, we shopped at Target a lot. Oh god. Oh yo, I shaved my head today. Or at least the sides. I trimmed it all up. I'm pretty happy about that. That makes me feel nice. And I shaved. I actually shaved today. Baggy clothes have been my life forever. Yeah. When I was a kid, I wore a lot of baggy clothes. I really liked those big ass jean coats, like the, what do they call them? Like pipe leg or whatever, where they're just the really wide leg jeans. I liked those. I lived in jean coats when I was like 14. Same problem. I used to cry when my mom made me wear a dress. Oh, yeah. I honestly don't mind wearing like dresses so much. It's more about like the fit for me, I guess. Like the more flattering it is of like my curves or whatever, the more I feel just like wildly uncomfortable. Not because I don't look good. Like if you didn't know me or anything and you just like saw me, then you would probably think I looked fine and good. But like, knowing me and seeing that like would, my friends would probably be like shocked and like kind of weirded out. Gene Co brings back some memories. Yep. Yep. And those Hot Topic, the trip pants. I lived in the trip pants too in like early high school. How was your birthday? Hope you enjoyed it. Hell yeah, I had a great birthday. Lots of very generous kickdowns. Thank you all so much. Oh yeah, and also, I wanted to shout out Deborah Kokonis. They kicked down earlier today, and yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you so much. And if you're out there and you're like, yo, I really like Cornelius and I like their content, how can I make them feel awesome and good? And whatever. If you want, uh, putting some money in my PayPal or Venmo will always make me smile every time. So there's links in the description if you'd like to. It's optional. It does help a lot, especially I'm trying to save up now. I got my computer. My car is getting all worked on, all good to go. Um, I'm I'm all right now. I'm saving up for gas money and just money to have during the first couple weeks before the beet harvest starts, because sometimes we're sitting around for like 2 weeks before the job fully kicks in. We're getting paid for the time we're sitting. That's stay pay. But we don't get paid until after our first week of work. So during that time, we're just with whatever we brought to live off of, that's what we got. So if you want to get down with the kickdown, oh shit, Noah Heezer already did. Thank you so much, dude. You're fucking incredible. Hell yeah. um, yeah, y'all are so damn sweet. Buds and bones, hell yeah. I'll get Satan some nice treats. Actually, I got her some treats here. Hold on one sec. Hey, baby. That's what she was bothering me about earlier. Like, now, okay, I'm gonna take a moment to bitch about my perfect dog. So the last few streams I've been doing, I'll start streaming and she'll just get right up on me and, like, be, like, pushing on me and bothering me. She's doing, like, if you, to other people, they might think she's being cute, but to me, who lives with her 24/7, and we're just, like, always together, she's doing, like, she's like a little kid going, like, hey, 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 and, like, poking at me, because she wants me to give her one of these because she's a spoiled fucking brat, and she thinks that she can just harass me while I'm streaming because I can't spank her when people are watching because somebody's gonna get offended. Um, and, like, so she's bullying me. She's straight up bullying me. I literally gave her a treat already, and, yeah, it's not cute at all. It's actually rude as hell. So that's why I told her to fuck off earlier. Now she can get a treat, but I am making her be patient so that she knows that she can't bully me into giving her things when other people are watching. Because that's not what we do, is it, Satan? That's not what we fucking do. You don't get to bully me when I'm streaming because you're spoiled and you're used to me giving you a treat every time. Okay? Yeah? Okay. Do you want this? Are you sure? Do you want that? Okay. Alright. See, she's smart. She knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. Spoiled little superstar. Stay pay. Yeah. Yeah, stay pay. It's, sometimes it's just, it's seasonal work, so we can't get to work right away a lot of the time because we're waiting for the weather to be just right so that we can start. So in order to keep people there instead of dipping out because they're not making any money, they pay you for a certain amount of work per day, like give you a few hours of pay every day. Still doesn't get that you're not talking to her when you're talking to the camera. No, she knows I'm talking to the camera. She knows that I'm not talking to her. She knows exactly what's happening. I mean, I don't think that she understands that there's other humans watching me on the phone, but she knows that I'm talking to the phone. Yeah, she is pretty. Look at that asshole. Look at that fucking asshole. Yep. Let's see. Other things that I've noticed while being on testosterone. Besides not wanting to die most of the time, which is huge, obviously. And then I've gotten some acne, also, clearly. I really like the star patches. I feel like the star patches are a trans guy's best friend. um, it's nice. And then there's the voice drop. The fat redistribution has kind of started, and it's making me feel like a lot better. I've lost, a few inches off my waist. That's just also from weight loss from carrying a backpack. But when you are going on HRT, it really does help if you start working out as well and just trying to take care of your body so that because testosterone isn't going to make you hot, like, necessarily. Some people just, it naturally makes them, like, way hotter, and they're fortunate genetically, I guess. But, like, it's not going to do all the work for you. A lot of times you'll see Somebody goes on T and all of a sudden they get all like shredded and you know whatever. But like you can't just count on that to do it for you. Like you got to put in a lot of work, but it is a lot easier to get shredded with testosterone. It's just a proven fact. That's why, men can work out a couple times a week and get buff, and women can work out every single day and see barely any gains. It's not fair, but that's hormones. That's how it is. And that's why even like cis women bodybuilders, they'll take testosterone too. That's literally what juicing is. And the place where I got my black market testosterone was a forum for juicers. Like peop- typically, I'm sure there's tons of trans people on there too, but mostly it's a bunch of guys trying to get shredded in the gym. Honestly, like that's what people are talking about when they're like, "Oh, natty or not? Are you natural or not?" Like, and if they're not natty, they're shooting up testosterone. That's literally what it is. Um, yeah, I have also noticed like my face is starting to change a little bit. Like I've been getting more like muscle down in my jawline, which is kind of fucking cool. I like that a lot. It's definitely been like complementing my my bone structure that I already have. It's almost like I was meant to have testosterone in my body. It's almost like that. I mean, it is. Like my brain is wired for a hormone that my body doesn't produce. And that's why so many trans people are so depressed and they don't even know it because their brain is like literally built for this thing and for whatever it could be any number of reasons. You're born unable to produce that, and it happens to cis men too. Some cis men have low testosterone levels as well, and that can cause very severe depression in them as in them. um, any sort of chemical imbalance or hormone imbalance in anybody can cause you to wish that you were never born or just to be like wildly uncomfortable most of the time. And it's unfortunate, but you know what, that's kind of how it is with human bodies. Like human bodies are not like this perfectly crafted, well-oiled machine. Like there's so many things about the human body that are an absolute clusterfuck. Like we're just kind of haphazardly out here just flailing around. Like that's why it always gets me when like people try to argue like, oh, but don't you believe that like God created you to be a woman for a specific purpose and blah blah blah. And it's like, bro, use your brain. Okay, like just the like take the human foot for example. Anybody that studies biology or like bone structure or whatever, and the development of our species and other species will tell you that the human foot is ghastly as fuck. There's nothing right with it. Like all the bones are fucked. You can see how like it developed from a different like model, right, over time as humans evolved and developed to do different things. Like that's why so many people like need to wear specific types of shoes with like nice arch support. Some people pay out the ass for insoles. That's because feet are they're just bad. Like there's no design in that. It's just like haphazard shit. Like our bodies are like, oh well, you know, we'll just try and make sense of this later. And there's so many things like we have appendixes. Like what the hell is an appendix. All it does is like send you to the hospital at some point. Um, or like tonsils. You know, they just take those out. We don't even need those. There's tons of stuff like that in the human body that are like leftovers from times when we did use them. Like, so, you know, there's nothing wrong with your body that isn't wrong with anybody else's body. You know, like, we're clusterfucks, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with needing medication for stuff. Like, people get depression, they take antidepressants. People have sleep issues, they take sleep medication. People have fucked eyes, they wear glasses, you know? Um, some people are born without body parts, and so they get prosthetics. And, like, some people have heart issues, so they get a little robot in their heart that helps them pump it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with needing HRT. It's the same fucking thing. You know, there's there's nothing wrong with you. So that's why I struggle to say like I was born in the wrong body. Like no, I fucking wasn't. I was born in exactly the correct body. It's my body. It's just some assembly required. Some work needs to be done here, um, and that's fine. You know, that's fine. Mm. Oh, this is a leftover. This one's warm. Damn it! I always do this shit. I open one when I have one already. This one's already warm, so I'm gonna keep enjoying the cold one and come back to that one. mm. Hell yeah! Anybody got any questions? Feel free. Some assembly required, right? Full transition. No, I understand that you're not trying to be rude, but like that doesn't actually mean anything. Like medical transition, full transition, like that doesn't mean anything. I'm non-binary, so like there's like I already said in the beginning of the stream, there's no place in society or prescripted role for a non-binary person. There's no transition. I'm not like, I'm a trans person, but like nobody nobody is required to undergo surgeries if they don't want to. And that makes them no less valid than anybody else. Like you shouldn't have to, being able to go and get surgeries is a privilege first and foremost. Like not everybody can have that because a lot of people, especially a lot of trans people, are homeless and disadvantaged. So like it's really nobody's business, much less a cisgender person. So if you have a trans friend, like don't ask them stuff like that. You can ask me stuff like that because we're doing a stream right now about it, and I'm totally down to answer y'all's questions. So if anybody else has any fucking questions that you think might be rude, I'll tell you if they are or not because you know uh, sometimes it's okay to have a little buffer. But yeah, like nobody nobody owes it to anybody to go under a knife to be validated in society. That's actually like a really shitty concept that a lot of people have, and that's why I'm addressing it because like it is really rude to ask people like some people might have just started HRT and are feeling really really good about themselves, and then you try to bring up like, oh, are you gonna get surgeries, and it's like, wait, should I get a surgery? Will that make like I was just feeling really good in my own skin, and now this person wants to know like if I'm gonna go let some doc cut me up because going on hormones was apparently not enough to satisfy society, I guess. Um, that being said, I am trying to get top surgery as soon as possible. Not because, well, there's many reasons for that, but like mostly it's because of the way other people treat me, not because of any dissatisfaction I have with my own body. Um, like, I don't love having tits. It's annoying. It gets in the way. It's like I'm not gonna ever use them for anything. So it's just like what's even the point? But like, you know, mostly it's so that I can present and be perceived in public in a different way. It's most of like people's gender dysphoria does come from the way that other people treat them, and nobody owes it to anybody to get any surgeries. Some people can't be on HRT or get surgeries at all for pre-existing medical conditions. Yes, it's best not to judge or assume in general. That's correct. Yeah, that's got to be so heartbreaking. If to be trans and not to be able to have any of that because it'll fuck you up. Um, yeah, that's sad. When I first started testosterone, I was having some health issues that kind of scared me a little bit. So I was concerned that maybe I was one of those people that is unable to do HRT. It was just a scare. But um, I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, if this is the thing that's gonna kill my liver, and I can't do HRT, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, for the first time in my life, I don't feel like I wish I wasn't born. And if I have to go back to that, like, I really don't know what I would do. But I got the blood work back and it's all good, so um, we don't have to go to that dark place. Surgery is risky anyway. It's scary, man. There's like I've got medical trauma from my leg. Um, so I know when I do end up getting top surgery, it's gonna be probably pretty traumatic. Um, but I'm willing to face that as it happens, just because that's what I want to do. But yeah, it's scary. If you meet someone and they don't offer a pronoun and you can't tell a gender, how do you properly address them? Well, first off, you shouldn't assume people's gender just because you think that you can tell because of the aforementioned. You don't know if people are trans and just can't get on HRT, or maybe they just don't want to for any number of reasons and they're not going to get surgery or haven't had surgery. And maybe they don't present like, a lot of people, myself included, kind of give clues with the way that we dress and act, that you might be able to tell, like, okay, that person's gender queer. If you got an eye for it or whatever, which not everybody does. It's like having gaydar. There's trandar. I don't know if that sounds offensive. Whatever. Um, but okay, so don't assume that you know what people's pronouns are anyway. Like, and can, if you can see that they might be queer, and you don't want to assume their pronouns, then just ask them. That's what you do. You say, hi, my name is such and such. My pronouns are, such and such. And then you let the other person introduce themselves. And yeah, just ask. It's not rude to ask what your pronouns are. Anybody that gets offended by being asked what their pronouns are is a fucking bitch ass little snowflake. They should go home and fucking take a nap and come back out when they're done being a fucking bitch ass. Seriously, if you get offended because somebody's asking how to refer to you, then you have a sad life. Your life is pathetic and you are weak. You are not alpha if you get triggered by people wanting to know whether to call you he, she, or them. Um, that's yeah. I can't even express like how pathetic that is. Um, I watched this clip that went viral of this guy having a meltdown about that new Bethesda video game where you in the beginning you create your character and there's a like you create your character and then there's the little thing the box where you pick their pronouns and this guy went on a YouTube like live stream rant about how nobody's safe from pronouns anymore. Like, oh my god, what a fucking baby, Jesus Christ. Like, if the biggest issue that you had in a day is that your new video game asked you what your pronouns are while you were creating your character, then you're a child. You're an actual undeveloped person. You are underdeveloped. You need to crawl back into your little safe space until you grow the fuck up. Um, and that's just how I feel about it. It's amazing. Like some people have real concerns with their life, like being treated unfairly or you know actual class and social struggles or like work issues or being injured or something. If you're out there having a meltdown, anyway, it's thanks for your answer. No offense intended. No, I'm not. I'm not offended. Noah, you're fine. I'm just letting you know. Like, if you have a trans friend and they're thinking about getting some type of surgery, they'll talk to you about it. Otherwise, there's really no reason to like bring it up. There's just not. There's no reason to. Brittany says, you can ask, just say my pronouns are her, she, and what are yours? That's right. Never assume. Hell yeah. I do not like people enough to care what they are. Well, I hope that is going well for you. You're not going to make a lot of friends that way, so yeah. I don't know, that's a pretty miserable outlook, to be perfectly honest. I don't like people enough to care what they are. Yeah, that sounds like something a sad person would say. Lodi says, I love when people ask me. Me too, actually, I do. Yeah, last time I was at a tavern, I was chatting it up with these cool guys, and we were having fun, and I'm like, these guys are really fun. They probably are gonna assume some shit about me, though. And so I was kind of just like mentally prepared for that, waiting for the opportunity to just be like, actually, guys, I'm not a lady. But then, one of them actually like turned to me before saying something because I think he was gonna maybe say, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he turned to me and asked me what my pronouns are, and I was like, yo, thanks for asking, man. It's they, them. And then, that was it. No big deal. If I woke up in a man's body every day, I would be miserable. Just think of it that way. Also, not for anyone to understand, just saying. Yeah, totally. I mean, you'd be the same person inside, just like the way that society treats you is where it gets weird, right? Like I've had a bunch of guy friends be like, "Oh, what do you want to get rid of your titties? I would love to have a pair of titties." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe you would, man, but like would you love how the guys at work would talk to you if you had a pair of titties?" And every time they're just like, "Oh, hmm. No, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying." It's like, well, yeah, there you go, man. Like, yeah, maybe they would be fun to play with for like a few hours behind closed doors, but you go to work with your knockers hanging out, and you're not gonna like the way those guys are gonna talk to you. just, uh, just saying. No, pronouns are not just they them. I don't know why everybody thinks that like pronouns are a trans thing. Literally everybody has pronouns, guys. Everybody. I don't know what, like, I don't know why it's such a struggle for people. Probably because they've never had a chance to practice, or some people are just like combative about it and get all like butthurt about it because they're like, oh, I can't learn. It's like, you literally don't need to learn anything. You already know how to use they them pronouns, and you, dude, have pronouns too. Your pronouns are he him, and her pronouns are she her. This is not a difficult thing. Like, we've been using singular they since the 1700s at least. You know that, like, you use them. Y'all have pronouns. It's amazing, like, people are acting like it's a new thing. Like, it's baked into our language. Like, what do you mean you struggle with pronouns? You've literally never struggled with them in your entire life until you, like, thought about it. And then now it's like, oh, I don't know all the pronouns. Like, yes, you do, dude. You really do. You 100% absolutely do know how to use pronouns. Go online. You're online. Go on Google and type in pronouns definition. It'll explain everything to you. If you're saying that you struggle with the singular they, you also don't. I guarantee you don't. I've heard people bitching about how they don't know how to use they them pronouns while using they them pronouns. Like, they'll say shit like, oh, well, if I don't know, if a person isn't a he or a she, then what the fuck am I supposed to call them? What do you mean? What are you supposed to call them? You just did. What are you talking about? What am I supposed to call them? Them. That's what this is, you you hurt yourself in your confusion, and you're hurting me. Not you, Noah. I'm just saying, like, in general, people in general. Like, what? It cracks me up every time. Every time. It's very funny to me because people want so badly to not understand when they actually do. They just really want it to not make sense, and then they like prove themselves incorrect, and it cracks me up. It's very funny, very funny. But also, since starting testosterone, I have started to warm up to he him pronouns. Um, that shouldn't be a cop out for anybody. If you're like, oh, you just can't do the singular they, like, fuck you. Yes, you can. You can. Just stop making excuses and just do it. The same way you do everything else in life. Just get it done. You know? You're fine. You'll be okay. The pronouns won't hurt you. But I have started warming up to he, him pronouns. That may change in the future. I don't know. But, yeah. I don't know. I've always been, masculine non-binary, so, like, dude and bro has always been fine. Um, even since I was a kid. But, yeah, I don't know. He, him pronouns are okay. That, like I said, that is subject to change. But if you're wanting to try that out, then that's fine. Super bad habit of mine is if I don't remember your name, I'll call you Hun or Bud. That's fine as long as you're not calling a guy Hun. But I feel like you should just call everybody Bud. No, actually you shouldn't. Where I come from, if you call somebody Bud and they're like your age or older than you, that is seen as like talking down to somebody. And anywhere I've been, calling someone Hun, unless you're like, there's specific people that can call people Hun, but mostly it's just not. It's kind of seen as talking down to somebody. It's just, yeah. Where I'm from, if you call somebody Bud and they're like older than you, that's you could get in a fight over that. Like that's big time condescending. My little brother almost beat a guy's ass at work because he kept calling him bud. Um, it's yeah. You can call your friends that. You can call your kids that. You can call people like younger than you that. Um, I don't know. People always say like, "Oh, it's the libs all get triggered over pronouns and stuff," and then like, if you try calling a man hun, just try it. See what happens. See how much they care about gender expression and identity. You call, yeah, you as a man call a grown man hun. See how that goes. Shake the Stars from the Sky says, I so love listening to you. I learned so much about your community and generally how mankind should be progressing and believing in equality. I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for commenting. Where's Corin? There, over there. That's right, man. Singular they. It ain't hard. I know everybody in here is smart enough to figure it out. Just practice. Practice with me. If you talk about things that I'm doing out here, telling your friends about Cornelius, then you can practice the singular they. Um, that's fine. Jeffrey Earhart says people never wanted to be identified by a pronoun before. What are you talking about? Something tells me you did not pass English, dude. Is English your first language or your second language? Like, what do you mean? You have pronouns, you fucking moron. I'm embarrassed for you. I am embarrassed for Jeffrey Jr. for getting this far into a live stream by a trans person about being on testosterone and thinking that pronouns are new. Like, read a book, dude. Holy shit. That is... I don't know what to do for you, man. Like, I... My... My head hurts. My head hurts by how embarrassing that is for you. Anyway, this past weekend while watching football games, I noticed many announcers referring to players as they, them. Interesting. That's kind of interesting. All these combative people know a guy whose legal name is something like David and they want to be called CJ or Carl or some shit. They don't have a problem with it. Dude, so spot on. It's so true. Oh my god. All these guys trying to be all like, oh, everybody wants to be special, I get pronouns, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, like, okay, well, you clearly don't have an issue with calling Carl CJ. So, you're just kind of being an asshole. You're trying to make excuses for why you won't even try to accommodate somebody. Calling them by their preferred name. Yep. It's called sentence structure. Critter Bone says, you crack me up. With each passing year, I find that I care less and less about what other people think. Sorry if that may sound flip. I don't really know what you mean by that, so I don't know. I have no idea what that means. Hey, Nick showed up. What's up, buddy? I'm just catching up in chat here. Dan says a man would get triggered so fast talking about if you went and called a guy hun. I've seen these videos where a guy will talk to men like how old men talk to women, and it's so funny. Like, these guys will just like immediately be like, the fuck did you just say to me? And they get so fucking pissed off. It's hilarious. Just kicked down for the education. Oh, thanks, buddy. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you got any more questions, I'm not offended by it. I'm happy to explain to y'all. We made it to an hour. That's awesome. Y'all are great. So yeah, I'm gonna open the floor. If y'all have like ignorant questions, and you know that that they would be embarrassing to ask to an actual person in their face. This is an open forum. I'm happy to answer your fucked up questions. Um, and I'll tell you why they're fucked. You know, like or whatever. Like it's fine. We're here to talk about it. Drop your questions now before I end the stream. I'm gonna roll a smoke while I let y'all think about it. Let it mull around in your amazing, smart, hungry for knowledge brains. Okay. And the reason I talk to y'all like this is because I do believe that you deserve to be spoken to frankly and honestly. Like I'm not trying to be a dick. You know. Like I I believe in you, and I am disappointed sometimes um, when people are self-defeatist, like Jeffrey was, um, and they want to make excuses for why they can't learn. I'm disappointed by it, not because I think you're stupid, but because I think you're smarter than that. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to be condescending, but if you're saying dumb shit, I'm gonna tell you you're saying dumb shit. That's because I care about you. Dude, you look good and sound great. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Really do. Track cat, me watching for the fucked up questions. Yeah, where's the lurkers that are too scared to ask me some fucked ass questions? I mean, don't try to piss me off, but like, I promise, at this point, you get a free pass. You won't get banned unless you're like trying to be a dick. You know, if you're honestly not trying to be a dick, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. And I do really appreciate those that were brave enough earlier to ask their questions. I really do appreciate that because that did get me going. Y'all are spectacular. We're all friends here, man. It's all good. I do the same thing with my family too, because like, you know, I'd rather them come to me and ask me dumb shit than to like go out and embarrass themselves talking to somebody else, you know. Satan, shut up. Alright, let's see here. 65 lurkers, that's funny. I hope it's fair to say how much I love you. Where's the dog? She's literally right here. She's always right next to me. Captain said Corns called me on something before. Don't remember what, but I don't get butthurt. That's why we're friends, man. That's right. If you can't tell your friends how you really feel about something, then what can you tell them? Hell yeah. Brittany asks, what made you realize that you're non-binary and who's the first person you told? So actually, that's actually a really good question. Thank you for asking that. So when I was a kid and I started, you know, going through puberty and stuff, up until that point, I pretty much just like lived as a boy. I wore like boy stuff. I still wore girl stuff, you know, to like church and shit. But mostly I was just like, you know, playing in the creek and wearing like typical boy clothes. That's what I liked. I did go through a phase in high school where I was like kind of overly compensating and like dressing feminine, but not in like a fashionable way. I was literally dressing like a pirate, like going. I was like 15, dressed like a pirate, wearing like 5 skirts all in layers and like, you know, doing crazy face paint and shit. Like not not fashionable girl shit at all. You know, um, but you know, as a little kid, a lot of people just kind of assumed I was a little boy a lot of the time, except for the haircut and whatever. Um, I got my first like boy haircut when I was probably like 13, 14 years old. And I remember one time when I was real young, my parents made a joke to me. They said like, you know, if you if you keep dressing and acting like a boy, you're gonna turn into one. And I had to have been like 5 years old, and I was like, oh, really? That's awesome. And they like were not expecting that answer. So they were just kind of like, yeah, you're gonna start sprouting hair on your chest. And I was like, oh, really? Sick. You know, and they're like, no, 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 that is not the reaction that we wanted. So I actually like was fooled by that for a minute, and then, you know, of course you realize like, oh yeah, they're pulling my leg. Yeah. But I remember actually genuinely being like really stoked. I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. I can actually turn into a boy. Cool. And I didn't actually know that non-binary was an option until I must have been like 20 years old. No shit. Uh, One of my friends had started dating somebody, and they were gonna meet up with some folks. I was supposed to pick up them and their partner, and but then I called them up and they were like, okay, I'm here, but we still gotta go pick them up. And I was like, them who? Them and who? I thought it was just you and your partner. And they were like, yeah, my partner is them. And I, like, it just instantly clicked and I was like, whoa, you can do that? You can be a them instead of a he or a she? That's crazy. Like, I just had no idea. I'd literally never heard that before in my life. But, like, the moment that I did, it made perfect sense to me. I was like, okay, I get it. They're a them. That's not two people, that's just one person. I get it now. Okay. Um, yeah, and they were great. I ended up, well, anyway, that's a different story. But, yeah. I ended up, hanging out with both of them for a lot of the night, actually. That was cool. But it was like, it was a real eye opener, and that's when I realized like, oh, me too, actually. If I had heard about it earlier, I probably would have been going by that earlier, but I didn't. I'd literally never heard it before. Can you speak Spanish? uh mm, mm, Barely. Mi español es mal. No bueno. I try. I can order tacos. I don't know what made you ask that. You're like, you promise? Yeah, I literally was. Cause I used to have this little baby plastic razor with this like play grooming kit that I had as a kid, and in the morning sometimes I would stand with my dad and like he'd let me use some shaving cream and like lather up my face while he was shaving, and I'd have like my little plastic razor and like, you know, pretend to shave with my dad. We were in the bathroom, like the big bathroom, my parents' bathroom, and that I think that's, I mean, I'm probably misremembering it because I was real little, but I think that's when they started making that joke. Great memories. Thank you for sharing. Uh, any food or drink you like better now than before transitioning? Not really. I've always had a pretty like masculine diet. You know, I like black coffee and rare steak and whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've always I haven't noticed like any specific cravings that have changed. Repeat Defender says, "You know what? You look happy. That rules." Thanks. Yeah, if you've been on my channel for a while, you've probably seen a lot of different cycles that I've been in, and for a while there, I was goddamn miserable with my life, even though everything was all good. Ew. All right, chat has full permission to make fun of Peter. I'm not gonna handle it. You guys can do it. Let's see what folks say. Let's let chat just go off. And while they're doing that, if you're on stream, if you wouldn't mind just hitting the thumbs up button if you like this kind of content. And also, I've got edited videos coming soon. Make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. And there are links in the description if you want to be a real sweetheart and kick down. You can kick down my PayPal or Venmo or Cashapp. You can join the Patreon. I have um, I have put up a new video of me and the boys going out. That's pretty cool. And I've got a couple of other shorts that I want to put up. Ooh, yes. There you go. Cold Draft says, I vote for Peter to go get a fabulous rack. Yeah, maybe that's what Peter's missing. Be the change you wish to see in the world, Peter. Which of the kickdowns is for your top surgery? Any of them, man. I haven't put up a GoFundMe for that yet, but, because I haven't gotten that far in, like, figuring out what I want to do, but, yeah, if you want to get down with the kickdown, then feel free. Y'all are great. Peter likes man boobs. Let's make fun of Michelle for getting banned. There we go. Have fun. Hope that comment was worth it. Yeah, that's one thing that a lot of people like to say about trans people is that they're delusional because they don't think that being trans is real, which is embarrassing. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry you're a transphobe. That is straight transphobia, actually. Just calling people crazy for being who they are. That's another level. Yeah. There's a difference between being just ignorant and genuinely not understanding why something is rude to say, and then actually just going out of your way to tell people that they're not valid. Yeah, well, yeah, thanks, Carol. Appreciate that. Commenting on anybody's body in that way is actually pretty poor form. Um, it's dehumanizing. It's gross, and it's just weird. Like you shouldn't feel entitled to comment on people's bodies at all like that. It's yeah, it's not appropriate. It doesn't matter. People are individuals with individual minds and experiences, and they're not body parts, man. Especially like commenting on somebody's body parts that you know gives them dysphoria or makes them feel less comfortable in their body. It's weird. What are my plans for the weekend? I don't have any plans for the weekend. I don't know. It's a good question. How's the sobriety going? Good. It's going good. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I've just been keeping it chill. Got my Mineragua. Cheers. It's been good. I have had some drinks in the past like month, and every time I have, I'm just like, this ain't me anymore. This ain't working for me. It just doesn't hit the same. Maybe that's one thing that my cravings have like changed since being on testosterone. Like, it's become easier and easier not to drink or want to drink, but oh, a lot of that could have just been because I don't have to self medicate because of the depression and body dysphoria as much. Repeat Defender says, I mean, I'm crazy, but also trans. Yeah, yeah. Most of us are crazy. It's okay. When is the car gonna be ready for the road? It is pretty much. I just need to get an alignment and some tires, and it's good to go. I could drive it as it is, but like I would have to do that when I get up there anyway. So might as well do it while I'm here. And since I'm waiting here to get my car into the shop one last time, hopefully, knock on wood, um, then it was a great time to order my computer as well. So I'm kind of just sitting and waiting on that, and a couple other things in the mail. One of uh, one of our fellow reprobates is mailing me some more needles for my testosterone application, which I actually did earlier today with an incorrect needle as usual because you got to work with what you got. But yeah, I took my boy juice today, as they call it, or my man sauce. I'm also sober, yo. Hell yeah. That's great. Carol says my poor daughter is a double G boob size and takes tons of flack. Yeah, it's annoying. Even if you are like a cis woman and you're fine with being perceived as such, it's still like a rude thing to say to people. Like nobody's flattered by that. It's awkward. It's awkward as hell. There's a difference between saying to somebody you look good and saying, "Wow, nice rack." Like who you don't talk to people that way. It's so rude. Masculine diet, is that a thing? Well, like gender is a construct. We've created a construct, and within that, we have certain things that we associate with what men eat and what women eat. It's like totally, it means nothing. It really has no basis in reality, but people got to gender everything. So it's like, I don't know, like there's the stupid stereotype that like salads are for women and girls are supposed to eat less because they got to watch their figure or something, which is stupid. It's like it's like a hangover from the 50s where it's like women need to present a certain way and men work hard so they need to eat like steak and potatoes or whatever. I don't know. It Yeah, or like girls like sweet coffee and men aren't supposed to have like fruity ass beverages because that's for girls because it tastes good. Men are supposed to only drink beverages that taste like shit or are really bitter and harsh to drink, like straight whiskey and black coffee. It's like you go work on a job site and you put like some cream and sugar in your coffee and people are gonna be like, oh, what are you, a girl? Like, I don't know. It means nothing. How often do you take your man sauce? Every 2 weeks. That's a good question. Some people do it into their fat layer, and so that's what is that called? There's intramuscular, which I do. I shoot it right into my muscle, and then it takes a lot longer for it to release. So I only have to do it every 2 weeks. But if you do it into the fat layer, um, then you got to do it every week. And there's different types of testosterone that released differently as well. Talking about working Renaissance fairs. Yeah, I've thought about it. I like Renaissance fairs. I have looked into it before. Subcu, thank you. Yeah, subcutaneous. Thank you. And there's a lot of other things you can shoot subcutaneously or intramuscularly, not just hormones. Like I had my first B12 shot um, earlier this year at a rave. This dude's like, "Oh, you didn't sleep all night, partying all night. Let's take more drugs and let's also do a, a fucking vitamin B shot, and then you'll feel like $100. You'll feel like brand new almost." And since I've been shooting the hormones, then that wasn't really a big deal. You just kind of like get a little fatty part in your ass and just like shoot it right into the fat. Um, yeah. Nick says, "I'm really glad you're happy with testosterone. That's important." Yeah, it is. Like, you spend so many years not being happy, then even just having like a base level of like, I'm okay, it feels absolutely incredible. Wow, this stream has gone well over an hour. I'm really glad for that, and I'm so glad that y'all could join me today. There's a few topics that I wanted to touch on this week and talk about. But if you have any suggestions, leave a comment in the comment section about what you'd like to see me talk about next, or if you have any more questions that you want to ask in the safety of this discourse here, feel free. Leave some questions. Join the Discord server if you want to come and talk to folks. It's a wonderful place. There's a lot of other folks that are also patient and kind, and they're happy to explain shit to you that I might have less patience for on any given day, depending on how I'm feeling. But since I've been on testosterone, I found that I have had a lot more patience to deal with talking to people as well, which is really cool. And I like it a lot because, I don't want to be an asshole. I am an asshole, but I don't always need to be, you know. I've got more of a filter, I guess, and more patience because I feel better about myself. CP, if you want to send some links for Ren Fair stuff, go and join the Discord and send the links because I am definitely looking for work. But I got the Beet Harvest next month, and other than that, I'm pretty much just gonna, I don't know, maybe I'll ride another train or something in the meantime. Awesome. Okay, well, cheers, folks. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate you. Been lurking on your channel for some years now. I remember the bad times. I started my transition at 31. I know what it's like. Word, it's never too late. It's never too late. All right, folks. I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I hope that you had fun here chilling for a little bit. And yeah, Satan says, oh, Satan says, I love you, and we're gonna play. We're gonna play ball. That's right. We're gonna play ball. Oh yeah. All right, folks. Catch you later. See you next time.